All righty.
You're good to go.
Okay. Well, we'll get started with some of our usual warm-ups. I got the microphone, so we got a little technical upgrade here, so hopefully the sound will be better. I won't fade out when I'm turning the wrong way or whatever. But what we want to do here, the first one is constant bear. So we're just going to do some exercises to kind of get limbered up a little bit, get the juices flowing. So the big thing with this is separating the upper body from the lower. So we want to get the feet in position first of all, so they're going to be at about shoulder width. And the important thing is the inside edges are parallel, so the feet are pointing straight ahead and parallel. And then the knees are right over on top of the feet, and the hips right on top of that, the shoulders right on top of that. So then we're going to just start to turn, and the idea is to keep the bottom quiet. So now you don't want much happening down below. So what I mean by that is the hips aren't turning like this. Their hips are staying, and then the shoulders and the arms just reach around. And to begin with, the nose just stays in line with the midline, so the neck is not turning or twisting. So the torso's turning, and the weight's pretty much staying in the middle. So not shifting from side to side, but just in the middle and reaching around. And then spin fast enough that your arms fly out a little bit, because we're going to be kind of opening up the joints. So the shoulder joint will pull open a little bit. Just the weight of your arms pull the elbows open a little bit. And the wrists pulled open a little bit. And also just kind of mentally bring your awareness into the body and just figure on spending the next hour feeling whatever's going on inside the body. And then when your mind wanders and you think about other stuff, just notice that and come back to work in the body. And, gradually you can push it a little bit, turn a little farther. So we're just working up a little more movement, a little more movement. And now do a few and turn your head and look behind you when you go. So then we've added a little extra twist higher in the spine. And then we'll do the diagonals. So go down, fold forward, and go down all the way down one leg, and then lean way back and go all the way in the other leg. So just go one diagonal a few times, and just feeling whatever you feel in the body. And then go the other way, down and way back, down and way back, down and way back, and then alternate. So go down, come up to the center, and drop on the other side. And just enjoy that arms float there for a second when you change direction. And the weight shifting from one leg to the other. Okay, and then so that's good for a constant bear. Then we'll do walk in the park. So this one, you just start with your arms hanging and then bend the elbows. And so the forearms parallel to the floor, loose fists, and then open and close the elbow. And then pick up the opposite knee and open it. Opposite knee and open. So it helps a lot to kind of lean back as the leg and the arm go forward, the upper body leans back. And all the tension's just in the elbow and the knee. So, it looks like a punch with the hand and a kick with the foot, but it's not. It's just the elbow is opening and the knee is opening, and you want to kind of flop them open. So again, we're just loosening those joints a little bit, loosening the knee joint with that flopping and loosening the elbow joint with that flopping, just to kind of get the synovial fluid going, get a little motion in there. And go the speed you need to go to feel stable. And then try to slow down. So when you practice this at home, you can sort of see how slow you can go. And that back leg is not locked. So there's a little bend in the knee. And you're just opening the knee and opening the elbow. So in Tai Chi, we practice all this moves at slow motion. So once you learn to do it slow, then if you have to do it fast, the body will be able to do it because you have that pattern already. But in the beginning, we break the moves down so it's as clean and stable and structurally sound as possible. That's the idea. Okay, so that's good for a walk in the park. And let's do the stepping across exercise. So with this one, we're just going to reach across the midline and touch with your toe. So you're just going back and forth. So all the weight's on the supporting leg and just as little weight in that front foot as possible. And then with the hands, the first thing we'll do is turn and put your elbows up toward the ceiling and cross your arms. Then open up and go to the other side and alternate which hand's on top and see if you can touch the back of your shoulders with your fingertips. So feel the opening of the chest. Chest opens up and closes, and the shoulder blades are going in and out in the back. And then keep the same motion going, but just drop your hands down and cross them in front of your belt level. So just loose and floppy. If you're okay with it, you can just let that foot swing and not touch with the toe. But we're just spending time on one leg, so that's going to help over time with the balance. And then the third variation, you just don't step across anymore, but just let the empty leg fall in. So you're all on top of this one leg and then go up and drop on the other side. So it's dropping into that leg, drop in, drop in. So drop and extend, drop and extend. So you're pushing down into the ground to come up and then dropping down. And you're alternating which hand's on top, and then you can do like cross at a different level. So if you just cross a little bit, you'll brush down the back of the hand from the wrist. If you cross more deeply, you come up to the elbow and brush down the forearm. Or if you come all the way up to the shoulder and brush down the whole arm, you can. But the point is to kind of be aware of what you're doing. So you make that choice. Okay, I'm going to do it just at the wrist. I'm going to do it at the elbow. I'm going to do it at the shoulder. So we just want to pay as much attention to the details of the motion as we can. Okay, so that's good for that one. Then let's do the bouncing exercise. So here we want the same setup with the feet parallel and just let the arms hang to begin with and just pump up and down and see if you can get your arms to jiggle. If your arms are relaxed and soft, they'll just flop. And depending on what your rate of pumping is, you can get more action in the arms and try to get as much jiggling in the arms as you can. And then we're going to fold forward at the same time you come down, and again, let the hands cross and then lean back and the hands come up. So the arms pretty much stay in this L shape. And because my body's going forward and back, the wrists come up. But I'm not using arm muscle to do it. I'm just using the body, the upper body leaning back drives the wrists up. So you're pushing down into the ground and leaning back, and that drives up the wrists. And then you can do that same, either cross a little bit and brush the back of the hand. You can come all the way up to the elbow or and brush down from the elbow. You come up to the shoulder and brush down. Okay, that's good. And so there's no wrong way to do it. So if you're in a room, if you were here in a room with a bunch of people, everybody would look a little different, and that's fine. As long as you're not hurting anything, it's okay. So we're, and then you can over time find little variations on your own, little ways to do it. Okay, that's good, I think, for warm-ups. So we'll go through, as we've been doing, the little mini form, 6-movement form, and then the work on parts of the longer form. So with the mini form, I like to think about it in terms of which directions you can move. So we have a move for moving straight ahead. We have a move for moving straight behind. We got one for moving directly to one side, one to move the other way, and then we have moves to go to the corners, the forward corners and the back corner. So the sequence starts with the back to the corner move, and the hand action is like you have your one hand up looking at the palm, and the other fingertips are in the elbow crease, and then this comes down and that one comes up. So if you're looking straight ahead, that's all it is with the hands. But then if you turn the shoulders, so I want to keep the hand and my chest are, two parallel lines here. So as I turn, the hand comes along, and so I have one hand. This hand is protecting my face, upper body, and this hand is in position to protect the lower body if someone was trying to touch you low or high. You're going to have a little defense position. That's the idea. So that's the upper body. Then the hi, welcome. So then the stepping action is just, this is our back to the corner move. So you're just stepping back to the corner, and in all of these, we're going to practice stepping without transferring the weight. So I'm not going to jump back on there. I'm just going to put the foot back there, put the weight's all in the front leg. Then as I shift the weight to the back leg, this hand goes, and then when this hits the elbow, then I step the other way. Same thing, I go back, then I step back, but the weight's in the front, and then I transfer the weight. So this is our back to the corner move. Or if I'm facing the other way, then it would look like this. And turning my shoulders and chest. So that's another principle of all of these come from fighting arts. So the idea of that you have an opponent in front of you who's the same size you are, and so you can imagine that they're maybe trying to reach for your face, and so you're going to turn out of the way and get your hand up to protect, be between. So your hand is going to be between the target of your body and whatever part the person is coming at you with, if they're reaching with their hand or they're trying to kick or whatever. So that's our back to the corner move. Then the next move is our straight ahead move, and this one is it's called brush knee and twist. So we'll talk a little bit about stance. If you're with an opponent and that person is going to try to push you or pull you, move you, and so if you're standing like this with your feet parallel, if you're pushed or pulled from the side, that's going to be okay. You're pretty strong that way. But if they push you from the front or pull you, you're going to have to step or fall over. So then the same's true the other way. If your feet are very narrow, you're going to be okay pushed or pulled this way, you've got some stability, but if you're pushed or pulled from the side, not too good. So this is our very stable stance, which would be the front foot is straight ahead, the knee is right on top of that, the hip's on top. Then the back leg, the hip is open and at an angle, something like 45. You'll find your own comfortable width, but the idea is that this side's open. And then the back foot's pretty much, the toe is pretty much in line with the front heel, and you're wide enough that you feel stable. So then you're pretty good no matter which way you're pushed or pulled. And the more you keep your weight in the middle, the safer you are. And once your weight gets out past, your hip gets past the foot, then you have to step or fall. And same thing the other way. So we try as much as possible to stay in the middle, but then we have all this area that we could move around in and still be very, very stable on the ground. So when we're gonna do the brush knee and twist move, we start with all the weight in one leg and the other toe is on the ground, and I'm gonna step forward. But if I just go straight ahead, I'm gonna be too narrow. So I'm gonna sweep that foot out to the side so I have a wide enough base. And the weight's still in the back leg though. Then I wind up the upper body by holding my hands kind of like holding a baseball bat. And I'm twisting back. So this is the wind up, right? If I was gonna hit with the bat, I'm turning my hips back a little bit. The weight's in the front leg. Now to transfer the weight to the front, I can tilt my shoulders and I'll feel the weight coming into the front, inside edge of the front foot. If I keep coming, I'll be right on top. If I keep coming further, I'll get to the outside edge and finally fall over. So just come until you're right on the middle and the whole foot is flat on the floor. And then I'm going to do the action. And the action, the knee doesn't change, but I stand up on that front foot and brush the knee with this hand and rotate my hip and push with the palm. So that's the step. Then if I want to do another one, I'm here. If I want to step the other leg, I'm going to turn this foot out first and then step up. Now this one's turned already. I'll sweep out on this side, wind up with the hands on this side, transfer the weight to the front, and then do the action. Then I'll do it again, change the angle, step up, sweep out, wind up, shift the weight, and go. So that's brush, knee, and twist. Then our moving to the side, we use a move called cloud hands. So if you start with your hands together, feet together, and just raise your hands up the middle line, make circles like this. Okay, then I'm going to step. So I'm going to kind of communicate my one hand on the opposite leg. So I'm going to push with this leg, and this hand goes. And then I'll push with this leg, and this hand goes. So I'm stepping as I'm rolling the hands. Okay, and I go the other way. So right now I'm just keeping my chest straight ahead, but if I want to add turning, then it'll look like this. So I'm turning my shoulders and chest as I step. I go the other way. And then the hands, you'll see people, if you look at YouTube videos or something, every Tai Chi form will have cloud hands in it, but sometimes they may do it like this with a small ball, or they might do like with a big ball, or they might do like with L shapes. There's different reasons for those, but it's the same kind of idea. And this is also the idea, one hand high, one low. So one hand's protecting the upper body, One hand's protecting the lower, so you can kind of think of the palms are always sort of facing each other. So that's cloud hands. And then the step backward, our movement back, the hand action is like you have this big beach ball and it's rolling. So again, the palms are facing each other. So one hand's reaching forward and the other hand is pulling back on this big ball. And then the stepping, I'm just going to step back. But again, I don't commit the weight. I put the toe down, then the heel down, but I'm all in the front leg still. Then when I push myself back, that's when I roll the hands like that. And I step on the other side, toe, heel, and go. And then this side again, toe, heel, and go. And switch the hands, toe, heel, and go. So that's probably the most sort of unusual step. And again, you know, if I keep my body straight ahead, it would look like this. But if I want to turn, again, thinking of turning my body out of the way, making a smaller target, making a bigger move, I turn my chest from side to side as I go back. Okay, so, and all those things become a little more, make more sense after you do the move for a while, but this just gives you a really short little set of choreography of moves that you can play with, and it doesn't take too long to figure these moves out. So at least at a basic level. So that's our step back. And then, so we got back to the corners, straight ahead, side to side, straight back. So forward to the corners is the next move. And that one is a move called Parting Wild Horse's Mane. And the hand action here is, again, same kind of idea. Palms are facing each other. But instead of making circles, it's just straight lines. So the one hand goes down, one goes up, and you look at the upper hand. Then the hands come back where they were, turn over, and go the other way. So again, we have one hand high, one low, and one's pushing and one's pulling. So that's the hand action. And then the step is just simply a step to the corner, but same thing. We're not jump in there. We put the foot there, the weight's still in the back leg. Then I wind up the upper body. I grab that ball. I tilt the weight into the front leg, and then I do the action. The knee stays where it is, but the back comes up and the hands shoot out. Then I'll step up, step to the other corner, wind up, shift the weight, and go. And step up, and I'll do it again. Step out, wind up, and the wind up could be small or you could do it really big. Same thing, shift the weight, and then do the action. Stand up and shoot the hands, and step up. Other way, same thing. So those are the moves. And so if we put them together in the sequence, and I'll do it facing this way, so our rights and lefts will match with the people on that are online. So the first one is back to the corner, one side, back to the corner, the other side. Then I'm going to sweep out. This is straight ahead, wind up, shift the weight, and go. Then I'll step up, and I'll do a cloud hands just in one direction. Then I'll get that beach ball shape, step back, toe, heel, and go. Then I'll go forward to the corner, wind up, shift the weight, and shoot the hands. And then we're done. So that's a tiny little form, 6 movements. And we'll do that again, just that in its basic form. Back to the corner 1, Back to the corner 2. Straight ahead for a brush knee. Side with cloud hands. Like the beach ball shape. Step back, toe, heel, and go. Step together. Step to the corner. Wind up. Shift the weight. And shoot the hands. And we're done. So then a little bit more useful is if we do it stepping with right foot and the left foot. So in that way, we'll start out the same thing. We'll step back to the corner 1 and back to the other corner. Now I'm going to go straight ahead, stepping with the left foot, winding up, shift the weight, brush knee and twist. Now I'm going to step with the other foot, so I'm going to change the angle of the front foot first, then step up. Now sweep out with the leg on the other side, wind up on this side of the body, shift the weight, stand up and do the action. Then I'll do that again, rock back, change the foot, step up, sweep out, wind up, shift the weight, brush knee. And I step together. Then I can do a cloud hands on this side, a cloud hands this way, and a cloud hands back that way. Now I'll step backward. I get the beach ball, toe, heel, and go. Switch the hands. Other side, toe, heel, and go. Switch the hands. Other side, toe, heel, and go. Step together, then forward to the corner. Wind up, shift the weight, shoot the hands. Step up, other corner. Wind up, shift the weight, and go. Step up, other corner. Wind up, shift the weight, and go. And we're done. So now just put your mind on imitation mode, monkey see, monkey do. Don't think too hard. Just try to imitate what you see me doing. And generally, particularly in the beginning, try to imitate the feet, more important than the hands. It's because the feet are much simpler. So we'll just try that. So follow along as best you can. So we'll go back to the corner 1 and back to the corner 2. Brush knee. And we'll do another brush knee. And we'll do a cloud hands this way. And the cloud hands that way. And we'll get the step back, toe, heel, and go. And another one, toe, heel, and go. Then forward to the corner, wind up, shift the weight, and go. Other corner, shift the weight, and go. Then we'll just cloud hands this way. And we'll do a step back. And we'll do another step back. And we'll do a forward to the corner. And we'll do a cloud hands. And we'll step back. And we'll do a forward to the corner. And we'll do a cloud hands. And another cloud hands. And a brush knee and twist. And we'll do another brush knee and twist. And we'll do a step back. And another step back. And a forward to the corner, parting wild horse's mane. Another one this way. And a step back. And a cloud hands. Another cloud hands. Parting wild horse's mane. And a step back. And a brush knee and twist this way. And a brush knee and twist that way. And a cloud hands. And a step back. And another step back. And stop. So, I'm sure you did it perfectly. That's okay. It's just, we want to experiment with using that part of our mind. So most of the time, And we do that all the time when we're little. It's all imitation. And then you get older and you start telling yourself, giving yourself instructions, and that's a whole different part of the brain. So the idea of just matching what I was doing is great. And then if you're practicing at home, just think of those different directions. Try to remember, okay, how did we go straight ahead? How did we go to the side? How do we go back? And as long as you're not hurting anything, it's fine. If you're not doing it perfect, that's great. You never do it perfect. That's the thing. The more you do it, the more parts of your body you identify and can command. And you can tell this part to stay put, this part to move. So it never works out exactly the way you want, or it never does for me anyway. But that's okay. So it's all about then smoothing it out, moving. If you want to, a lot of the bigger benefits from Tai Chi, blood pressure reduction and calming the nervous system, you have to move for a while, 10 minutes or 20 minutes of movement, constant movement, in order to have that, drop in your respiration rate and that kind of stuff. So we want to get enough choreography that you can do, and you can do it in a very informal way when you're working on your own, just thinking. But the big training in general is the idea of not committing with your steps. So everything is done you're breaking it down, move down into littler pieces, so you can pay attention to each little piece. That brings your mind in more contact with the inside of your body, and that's the really, I think, the benefit of Tai Chi is that over time you're increasing your communication between your mind and body. And they're not, I used to kind of think the mind and body were one thing, but I don't think they are anymore. They're two different things, but they're very closely linked. So the idea is to work with that link, work with your mind, directing the body. So we all have habits, and we move a lot of the time without thinking about how we move. And most of us have injuries and postural things that go along with our habits of movement. So if you can break those habits, a lot of times your body will loosen up and feel better. So you'll be able to move parts that you haven't moved before very well. So that's that little mini form. Now we'll work a little bit on the longer Tai Chi form, which is from Master William C.C. Chen's 60 movement form. And so the way this one starts is start with the heels together. And the first thing I like to do is lock everything. So make everything as stiff and rigid as you can. And then let that go. So just take your time, open up all the joints, soften everything, let the weight drop into your feet, float the arms out a little bit. I'm going to let all the weight drop down into the right leg. So this foot's free. I'll step out and turn the foot straight ahead. Now I'm going to switch the weight from this leg to the left, right leg to the left. And I'll do that by sitting down. And as I sit initially, the weight's going to be on the inside edge of that foot. As I keep kind of coming over, I'll get right in the middle, and that's where I want to be. Now this leg is empty. I got no weight in there. I mean, there's a little weight from the leg itself, but there's not all the weight essentially is in this leg. So then I can pick this toe up and turn this foot parallel, and then drift back to the middle. So what we're trying to train is to really pay attention to the knees so that we don't twist them this way. So, the knee is designed to bend like a hinge, and it doesn't take too much of trying to bend it, torquing it to strain it or damage it. So we want to really practice having the weight right in the middle and the knee bending in the same direction that the foot is going. So that's why we do the transfer of the weight in a couple of steps. So we want to be very careful of the knees. So again, we're here, we'll lock everything for a second. Then I'm going to soften. And as I'm doing it, this knee is bending in the same direction as that foot. So it's going out that way a little bit. Then I'll step out, turn the foot straight ahead. Then I shift the weight by dropping down into that foot. Now, everything's over here. This one's free. I'll pick it up, turn, and come back to the middle. Okay? So another thing to be aware of is this, we want to try to minimize how much we move side to side like this, because that's when you get into danger with torquing the knee, and also it's hard to stop that. So the idea we want to think of is going up and down. So I'm going up and over and down and up and over and down. So we can practice that a little bit on its own. If you take a stance like this, feet parallel, and I'm in the middle, I'm going to drop down all the way into this leg, and very carefully notice that that knee is straight ahead and the shoulder's right on top of that. And so then there's a line here from this shoulder down into that foot as well. And so I'm put all the weights on this side. Then I come up to the middle and drop down on the other side. And I'm turning my chest a little bit to drop into that foot. So what's happening is I'm opening up in the hip. So as I turn, I'm opening up here. So this is where we're gradually going to get a lot more motion in the opening up in the hip. Okay. So but the idea is up and down, up and down, up and down. And then when we're doing all these other moves in the form, same thing. There's minimal forward and back, but it's up and down and up, going in different directions. But it's always going down and then setting up for the new direction and going up. So we'll kind of just keep that in mind as we go through these first moves. So again, we're here, drop all the weight down into one leg, step out, get the foot straight ahead, shift the weight over by sitting down and opening up this side of the hip. There's no weight in there. I'll pick that up, turn the feet parallel, come back to the middle. And now I'm going to stand tall here, but the knees are always bent a little bit. So, they're 90% straight or so, maybe a little more. Then think the back of the crown of your head is like pulled up. So just lengthening the spine, and think about pushing the spine, elongating the spine, dropping the bottom down, and pushing the top up a little bit. And then the hands float. So a little space under the armpits, a little life in the hands, a little circular feeling in the forearms. And then this is a basic standing meditation pose, a standing Qigong pose, and it's the opening position in most Tai Chi forms. And so we can spend a little time right in this without moving. We can investigate the shape a little bit. So relax, right? The knees are unlocked. Let the weight drop down. Breathe slowly in and out through your nose, but breathe down into the belly. So the belly goes in and out, but the chest stays pretty much quiet. Okay. And then just let the weight drop more and more into the ground. So as you feel tension, so like I was feeling tension here, so I'm trying to relax the back of the thighs. And this area here is really difficult to relax. There's a lot of different muscles in there, the pelvic floor, and a lot of crisscrossing stuff there. Hard to feel at all, hard to feel details in there. Over time, you get better at it, but you want to let that soften. Think of it, everything relaxing and dropping. Then if you lean forward a little bit, you can tell you're forward, the weight will be in the toes. If you lean back, it's in the heels. So get right in the middle. Then lean a little to one side. You know, you'll feel more pressure in this leg. If you lean to this side, more pressure here. And again, get right in the middle. So equally balanced, 50-50 on the feet, forward and back. And then the upper body is floating. The arms are floating. The head is pushed up tall, but relax, soften. Just kind of subtly command your body to soften, open up, relax, whatever words kind of do it for you. And over time, your body will follow your instructions. Now we're going to start the next move by relaxing a little more. Slump forward, weight drops. Then push down into the ground with your feet a little bit. And the back comes up and the wrists float up on their own. Then the fingertips float out. Then I soften again and the hands come back by the shoulders. Then I push into the ground and the hands go out. And I stay up tall like this and just let the hands float down on their own. And then bend at the wrists so you get a nice stretch on the forearms here and the palms are parallel to the floor. And then the hands go to the back. So again, we can just repeat this move a few times. Relax. The wrists come up, the fingers float out. Relax again, they come back by the shoulders, push out, and they go down. So we're constantly changing. You know, Tai Chi is all about change. My teachers never used a lot of the Chinese words, which you may see if you read other stuff, but the idea of qi and yin and yang and all of that. But the idea is we're always changing, so the body is going to expand and contract. So this actually is a nice little exercise, which I call the jellyfish. But if we just do this for a second. So take that stance, get your feet parallel, 50-50, and then just relax, drop down, and everything, the body compresses or softens into a little ball, and then everything expands. And then it softens, and it expands. So your breathing, we just use that shape to help the breathing. So as you compress, the air goes out, and then as you expand, the air comes in. So you're using this crunching down of the body and opening up of the body to help kind of drive the lungs. So your chest shrinks when you go down and expands when you come up. So it's just this constant sort of wave motion, flowing, changing. It doesn't stop. It's either increasing or decreasing. It's always expanding or contracting. So it's how you do that. And then if you wanted to, you know, just as an exercise, step while you're doing this, same thing, but just put the foot there and then relax into it. You know, we'll go forward, whatever you want. But it's just, here we're just trying to feel that soft, breathing body, expanding and contracting. And then this same kind of rhythm is going to happen all the time that we're doing the Tai Chi form. And usually when we do the expand, that's when we're going to come up into some posture. So there's a number of postures. Tai Chi's postural. You go from one posture to another posture, these shapes. And different forms, different teachers do slightly different versions. You know, they're not all the same because some teacher likes to accentuate a particular principle. Other people want to do something else, but you'll always have that same idea and these postures. So when the posture, when you take the picture in the book or they name the posture, that's when it's over, the action's over there, but the actual move happens to get you into that shape. And when you're in that shape, then you're going to be expanded and open, and that would be your inhale, and then you're going to shrink down into this kind of nothing shape. You know, it's like you're a blob, and any shape could come out of that. So, you know, if you were, you're here, you want to come into this shape, or you want to come into this shape, or you want to come into that shape, whatever, it all comes from this just quiet, sort of collected, empty spot, relaxed spot, and then it bursts out. So it's like expanding with the breath. So to go back to the actual form again, we're here with heels together, lock everything to feel what we want to get away from, and then soften. All the weight drops in the right leg. Step out, shift the weight, and then change the foot there, come to the middle, get tall, push the top of the head up, but relax, float the arms out. Now I'm going to start the next move by releasing. Then I push into the ground and the wrists come up, fingers float out. That's the big inhale there. Then I'll exhale, and then inhale. And I stay tall and the hands just drift down and go to the back. I drop all the weight into the left leg, pick up the right toe, and turn. And here I just want to open the hip. I don't want to change my left leg. My supporting leg doesn't change, and I don't follow. This knee doesn't turn. It's going straight ahead, but I'm going to open up the hip. And the hands are just like I'm holding a ball here. Now I'm going to switch the weight, pour the weight into that front leg. And when I'm getting 100% here, going straight into the ground, then this leg is free. And I'm going to step forward and just put the heel where the toe was. Now I shift the weight into the front leg. And I'm going straight down into the ground, and I'll do the action here. And the action is that this hand goes down, this hand comes up, and I turn my hips. And when I turn, I start to feel pulling on my knee, so I'm going to pick up that toe and turn. And now I should be in something like that stance, that stable stance. Front foot straight ahead, back foot at an angle, wide enough to be comfortable and relaxed. And this is the posture called ward off with the left hand. So this hand is low, protecting here, and this hand is palm is right in front of my solar plexus, basically. Okay, so this is ward off on the left side. Then I'm going to relax again on top of this leg, and the palms face each other. I pick up this heel, open the hip up, step back a couple inches to widen the stance. You know, when the next move, then I'll pour the weight into that front leg. Then I'm going to stand up on the front leg, turn my hips, bring that back toe, back foot with me. And here I have ward off with the right hand, and my feet are in that, close to that shape we like, and the palms are facing each other. Now the next little sequence, the feet don't move. Feet stay right where they are. The upper body turns. I get a nice little stretch in the spine. Now I'm going to fold forward and drop the weight into the back leg, and my palm comes underneath the elbow. Then I stand up on that back leg, and the palms go across. I tilt the weight into the front leg. Palms are facing each other. Then I push the wrists together and out in front. Then I withdraw the hands near the parallel to the floor, drop into the front leg, and push. Okay. So this little sequence I mean, you're getting a lot for one day, so don't worry about that. But this little sequence is repeated a bunch of times in the long, when we do the whole form, which we'll go through in a minute. But this, we'll try it again. So that we're in that stance, palms are facing each other, feet stay put, upper body turns. And fold forward and drop in the back leg. Stand up back there. So this is what I was talking about, the up and down. So now I'm dropping down into that front leg, pushing and coming up. Then I drop down into the back leg, switch the weight to the front, and come up out of the front. If I want to do it again, I'm here, upper body turns, back leg and down. Stand up back there, drop down, push and stand up, drop down in the back, drop down in the front, and then up and out, right, for push. So that little sequence is repeated several times in the form. So if you can kind of play with that, try to remind you, try over the week, try now and again to just take that stance and see if you can, how much of this you can remember. And just do whatever part you can. What I'm going to do now is go through the whole form. So again, put your mind in imitation mode and just try to follow what I'm doing and pay more attention to the feet than to the hands. I'm going to go through the whole form, the 60 moves. So it'll be confusing, but that's okay. And you'll see what I was talking about, how often that little piece that we were just practicing shows up in the form. So we're here, lock everything for a second, relax, step, shift the weight, feet are parallel, relax, wrists come up and out, soften, push out, hands drift down into the back, drop the weight into the left, pick up and open the hip, shift the weight, step, shift the weight, stand up and turn. Relax on top, pick up the heel, open the hip, step back a little bit, shift the weight, stand up and turn. Feet stay where they are, upper body turns, drop back, show the palms, forward, press, withdraw, and push. Settle on the back leg, pick up that toe, close the hip as tight as you can, switch the weight, hook and scoop. And the hook and scoop is these fingertips come together and make this hook, and your palm is scooping underneath it. Now pick up this heel, stand up, turn, and stretch out. I step back behind and point the foot that way, shift the weight, throw this hand, then I'll pick up the toe and bring my body around. And again, I should be something like that shape with the feet. Pick up the heel, open up the hip, and squeeze together. Drop the hand and the foot comes in, sweep the foot out, tilt the body, and push with the shoulder. Relax and white crane, this shape is called. This toe's on the ground and one high, one low. One hand goes up, the other down, turning. Switch the hands and turn back. Step out, drop in the front leg. Here's our brush knee and twist. Pick up the back foot, put it down where it was, settle back there, squeeze together and the heels on the ground. Roll the hands again, step to the side again, drop in top there and brush knee and twist again. Rock back, hands on either side of the thigh, turn the toe out, get on top of that foot and then step up and the feet are in a T shape. Then I'm going to roll the weight, dip that shoulder, get onto the front leg, and then reach with this left hand and just follow it and step. And I'll keep turning, drop the weight on the front leg, and I'll punch. This hand brushes again by the knee, and this fist punches. And then rock back. Let's see. Well, I got confused, so bear with me. The brush knee. All right. And up and over and punch. Okay, good. Now I'm going to step back and push my weight onto that back leg, and my right or left fingertips are on the wrist, and the hand is pointing down. I'm going to reach down and stand up. That's a move called needle at sea bottom. Stand up, sweep the foot out in front, drop on top, and shoot the hands out. Then I'll drop the weight, the hands down to the left, then up to the right, and I'm going to go underneath my hands, pick up that toe and tighten the hips, close the hips, make a fist, and this big circle brings my step around. Then I'll step through with the left hand and foot, and then the fingertips shoot over top of the hand here to throat level, hands cross, hands on the weight, come back, step forward, drop on there, and push. And I settle on the back leg. The left hand on the right toe, come around tight as I can with the hips, and I switch the weight over, stand up, and the feet are parallel, and the hands come up, cross in front of your chin, and the hands go down. Then I'm going to step to the back corner here, shift the weight, and then bring the body around. Then again, I drop on the back leg, so this should look a little familiar. Chop, front leg, press, withdraw, and push. Settle on the back leg, come most of the way around, relax, pick up the toe, stretch out, step to this corner, throw the hand, single whip, step, come around. This is the palm is up, and I'm going to reach through my body and get out of the way when it does and step through. Fist under elbow. Then hands are up. Here's our step back. And this one, toe, heel, and go. Then open the hip, open the shoulders, switch the hands, and the left foot, or left hand and right foot come around. Then I'll push down here and up here. Step up. Here's our cloud hands. All right, well, I'm going to stop there, but you can see, there's some repetition is the thing, and the idea is that expanding and contraction is always happening. So I always like to take a little time at the end here to calm down, cool down, chill out a little bit. So take this stance, feet parallel, push the length in the spine, float the arms out, tilt your face a little bit forward so you're looking maybe 6 or 8 feet in front of you. And then just relax. Try to let the skeleton do all the work. So whatever part of your body starts to, you notice it, then that's tension. So just let go. Just say loosen, or loosen some other part of the body, or maybe change your posture a wee bit to let the pressure off. And then just breathe in the belly, through the nose. And then we like to generate a good open-hearted feeling. So whatever, think of something that does that for you. So a person you care about, or a beautiful sunset, or a puppy, whatever it is that opens you up a little bit. And then we want to have a little appreciation for ourselves, a little gratitude for ourselves that we're able to do this work a little bit and move, learn a little bit. And then we want to have that good feeling and then just share that out to the world. So we want to think about just a simple wish that all beings could be happy, that everybody everywhere could be a little happier today than yesterday and maybe tomorrow than today. And just picture that feeling going out from the room, out of the building and down the block, across town, across the city, the state, the planet, out into space. Just our position here, just a simple, good feeling, open-hearted, kind wish that everyone be happy. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Appreciate it.